Yesterday, I posted a quote in the NLP Master Academy Facebook group that says, there are no limits to what you can accomplish, except the limits you place on your own thinking. It was a quote by Brian Tracy. But is that really true? Is that really absolutely true? And that is what we are going to talk about in this Facebook Live video on understanding the unlimited power of your mind. My name is Andreas Dorn from Asia Mind Dynamics. I'm a certified NLP trainer. I'm a certified master trainer of hypnosis and hypnotherapy and other tools of the mind. So I believe I have the ability to say something about the mind. Okay, and as we get started here, let me play my little introductory commercial to you. I nearly lost my train of thought, which we're also going to talk about. Maybe, alright? Good, just a moment. And for those of you, of course, who celebrate Deepavali today, because in Malaysia, as well as in other countries who celebrate Deepavali, happy Deepavali, the happy festival of the lights from us here at Asia Mind Dynamics. And I still hope that some of you have the chance to watch in, look in, join us in this Facebook Live session. Well, if not, tomorrow is another day where you also have a chance to watch this replay of this video. If you are at dinner and you are just wanted to check out Facebook and you come across this video, just play it in the background. Maybe your mind is going to pick up something as the video plays, or I'm talking while you have your dinner. If you're at work, which you shouldn't anymore in at least our areas, our parts of the world, well, also play the video in the back of your office or wherever you are, somewhere. If you're driving your car and you're stuck in a traffic jam and what you shouldn't do, but you're listening to Facebook video, let it play it quietly, whatever it is. Thank you very much for joining this Facebook Live. I'm happy that you are here today in this video Facebook Live session on the power of the unconscious mind. And I'm going to share a couple of great stories with you about how the mind can really expand itself and accomplish amazing feats if it needs to, of course, you know. Along the line, of course, you know, if you are watching this video, you can always ask questions now. Because the mind is still something very mysterious. People don't quite know what it actually is. So many people ask me in my NLP training as well, hey, good to see you as well. Voila, yeah, there's somebody here already. Good to hear you, good to see you. So many people in my NLP training always ask, what is the mind? And so many people still don't quite understand the power of the unconscious mind and what you really, as Napoleon Hill was saying, what the mind can conceive or perceive, it can conceive, it can create. I got the quotes, I got the quotes correctly, of course. So, of course, if you have questions, ask your questions anytime and I'm answering them when my time permits here, of course, at either now or at a later stage. And of course, if you are not there yet, feel also free to join us in our free online training video that allows you to really attract success into your life. You can find the course on our website, asiaminddynamics.com. And it's a right upper banner. There's a store, and next to the store is a free online training. Yeah, it's nice to see and interact with you again. It's been a while, and I hope we can see you more often. And thanks for also being active in the NLP Master Academy group. So, yes, along that line. Okay, let's get started. And of course, along that line, tag a friend. Tag a friend, you know how to do it. There's a banner now on that video, on that live session here right now. Tag a friend, that means you gotta type this friend's name in front of it. You are typing that funny sign that you can find on your laptop, and then you type your name so they can get alerted to this video. Share that video across your timeline. That would be lovely as well, because then other people, your friends, will see it. I'm getting more famous. It's all about me, it's all about you, it's all about your friends, okay? It would be lovely if more people can learn about the power of the mind, because it's such an amazing piece within us. I have not to say, don't know exactly how to describe it. It's an amazing part of us overall. So tag your friends, share it anytime you like something. Press a like violently, press the keyboard, like. I like likes. You know that by now. I hope you do this. It would be lovely if, of course, if I get more likes. And if you hear something you like, I gotta click off the right one. If you hear something you like very much, just type in hashtag NLP rocks. So ladies and gentlemen, here we are today with another live feed, Facebook live feed on the unconscious mind. Again, my name is Andreas from Asia Mind Dynamics, a certified NLP trainer. And of course, as NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming says, we are exploring your mind. And as I mentioned earlier, my apologies for this. As I mentioned earlier, many people always want to know, how do you access this part inside of us? So let's get started on this one. First of all, you need to understand, as usual, of course. Hey, yay, thank you so much. Okay, thanks for tagging other friends in this video. I really love it very much. You all know you've got a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is a part inside of us that we are not always aware of, that is always holding all of our emotions. It holds our values, it holds our beliefs, it holds our thoughts about ourselves, it holds about our history, our memories. Everything is stored in our unconscious mind, and we are not aware of it sometimes. If you know a skill, if you are really great in one certain thing that you are really good at, you don't need to think about it anymore, because that skill, that capability is just somewhere deep inside of you. Hey Sheila, also good to see you. The skill is an amazing skill, is deeply inside of us, and we don't need to think about it anymore. How do we access it? It just comes like that. So let me know also in the comment box, what is one skill that you don't need to think about it anymore consciously, but you can just do it unconsciously without actually much thinking about it. It's just like driving a car. You don't need to think about anymore how to drive a car. There was a time in your life you had to think heavily, how do you move that piece of car on the street? So let me know in the comment box now, what is a skill you do have, you are aware of, that you can access without much thinking. I would call you at 4 o'clock at night and ask you to do that certain skill, and you just simply can do it without any thinking, without any consideration. The deepest level of your unconscious mind, it's so deeply installed inside of you. Let me know in the comment box, what is one skill, one capability that you really know. You don't need to think about it anymore. You have it deep within yourself, and you can do it anytime, anywhere. Just simply do it. I'll give you an example. I do know, for example, how to write. I don't need to think about it anymore. How to write. Imagine you would have to think, relearn every single day. How do you write your name? How do you type on a keyboard in your laptop? Do you need to really think about it every single day? No, you don't need to think about it anymore. You just do it. My NLP skills, from the practitioner and master practitioner level, even hypnosis skills. You wake me up, hopefully you don't do it, 4 o'clock, anytime in the middle of the night. Ask me about a certain skill, certain technique in NLP. I can do this skill without even consciously, how do I do that again? 1, 2, 3, 4, I have to recollect it. I can do it easily. So that's my skill. I can do this. Talking. I don't need to think about anymore how to talk. I just blabber away. It's an unconscious skill to have. So let me know, please, in the comment box, what is a one skill that you do have, that you don't even need to think anymore about. It's just simply deep within yourself, because that's a skill embedded in your unconscious mind. Maybe not now, maybe you're shy, I don't know, but let me know about it at a later stage, all right? Now, in our unconscious mind, of course, we also have our values and our beliefs. Thank you for the heart. Whoever gave me the heart right now, I love it. Thank you. And again, okay, today we speak about the power of your mind, of your unconscious mind. And really, I would love to know about a skill that you do have. You don't need to think about it anymore. So it's just an amazing skill you acquired. Initially, it was hard to learn, but then you just got it now, easily under the belt, in your muscle memory, easily and effortlessly accessible nowadays. So we have in us, of course, all our values and our beliefs. And earlier I've mentioned this wonderful quote by Brian Tracy that said that the limits to our mind is the thoughts, how we can impose limits on our mind and on what we are able to do. Now, how do we do this? It's because we don't believe we can do something. So it's simply, we don't believe we can accomplish something. We don't believe we can be rich. We don't believe we can be an amazing presenter. We don't believe we can be an amazing leader. We don't believe we are easily selling certain things. We don't believe we are a great father or a mother, a boyfriend, girlfriend. It is deeply installed inside of us as a belief, and that is holding us back. Some people believe they can never be rich, or some people believe they need to work hard in order to get certain things done and really strive to do this. Where are those beliefs coming from? They are not inside of us when we are simply born. They are not there. Something happens in our early childhood as we grow up to the stage where we are today, that suddenly we install these beliefs. So let me ask you something. For example, you do know children, right? And children, they are playing easily and effortless anywhere. They can play. They have no issue whatsoever. Children have no fear. Children, or maybe a natural fear of abandonment, but normally they don't have a fear. They don't know exactly initially how to get angry. They don't feel guilty. They don't feel hurt. They don't feel sad maybe initially. And suddenly they just do their things, they play along, they have no boundaries. Have you ever had a time in your life when you were small, of course, and you were dreaming of something? You knew you wanted to achieve something, and it was wonderful, and you thought like, I want to be a pirate. I want to be friends. When I was I wanted to be a friend of Red Indians. I loved the Red Indians, and I dreamed about them because they were my hobby. I dreamed about being a knight, playing in castle, rescuing people, fighting battles on playgrounds, fighting battles in the forest when my parents brought me somewhere. I had unbelievable dreams. Realistic or unrealistic, I didn't care, because they were just there. There was a time in my life when, together with friends, we were actually building our own country, so to speak. We created our own currency, we created our own laws and rules on that one, and it was wonderful. There was no limitation. There's no limitation what the mind can conceive, what we're just sitting there and dreaming about what is possible. But then something terrible is happening. What is happening is children grow up. It's a natural way of things, right? Children grow up and they go to school and they get educated and they gotta strive for certain marks, exams, succeed in exams, and suddenly something realized. They realized, I need to study, I need to learn. Parents tell me to do that. Society teaches me to do that. Do they want to do that? No, of course not. We as children, me too, as children, we wanted to go out in the world and we wanted to play. I remember that my parents said on Christmas time it's not possible to play downstairs at the playground because it's a festival. Don't go to play. It's not appropriate. Or it was raining and my parents said can't go play because it's raining, you might fall sick. So I've learned my own limitations of what is possible, and we are just getting through it. And from that unlimited box of what is possible, our beliefs installed inside of us put us into a box. And the challenge now then of course is that initially with parents, they install that inside of us. They don't do that purposely. Now listen what I'm saying next, okay? Simply the same with me, of course. I grew up. I have all those beliefs installed from my parents and from my education and from my society, German society. Of course, I moved over to Malaysia and Asia, and hopefully we're able to expand and just amend some of my old beliefs that I was holding earlier from Germany. But all those old beliefs were still inside of us. And now what happens, of course, time is racing by. New technologies come up. I'm still trying to cope with my old beliefs. Sometimes parents come to us and they talk to us and they see a challenge in their children and they say, my son wants to become a YouTube influencer or an Instagram personality, and they ask me and Najwa, can they make money with that? Is that possible? When we grew up, we wanted to become doctors. Maybe some of you wanted to become a doctor. Or you want to become a lawyer, or maybe you want to become a teacher, because that was the most common professional experience we had. We wanted to maybe work in the kindergarten even, you know. Nowadays kids are exposed to Instagram, YouTube, and we as parents want to impose our old beliefs on the children, and we freak out with our old beliefs, bit adjusted to normal current society and current environment and what happens. We are on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever else social media, so we are learning a little bit, but kids are much more advanced. We are behind them and we want to install our old beliefs on them. We are holding them back. Our old beliefs from the 1990s and the early 2000s and maybe even earlier to 1980s. We want to install and hold back the kids, the new generation, which is a challenge. They are different. They are so very, very different. And even my son is putting me on the spot. How do I show that best? Putting me on the spot sometimes and saying, when he wants to do something, I say like, how is that possible? But I'm learning it then. At least I have challenges sometimes, I admit that, but I'm learning. But how many children can't fulfill their dream because some parents or society hold them actually back? Nothing wrong with it, but it's the beliefs we are imposing on somebody, and that's the limitations we are putting on the thinking. If we were able to remove those limitations on our thinking, but it's hard to do sometimes, because if we are sitting in this box of our old beliefs, how can we transcend across? It is really hard sometimes to do this. All right, so let me share with you what else is possible then, because children are, as I mentioned right now, have that wonderful, powerful beliefs. We have those beliefs inside of us, all inside of us. But most of us have forgotten the power that exists within us. The power that exists within us, you know. And we have learned as we grow up, of course, our memories inside of us. We are running the same life over and over and over again. About maybe 80 or 90 or 95% of the time we are doing the same thing every single day. It's the programs running in our head. The programs, we are getting up in the morning time. We are doing our coffee, we're going to the toilet, we are showering, we are shaving. I should shave, I realize. And whatever we do, we leave home the same time. We are stuck in the same traffic jam. We go to work, do the same thing over and over and over again. And when we get up, when we have conversation, what do we focus on? We are focusing on the problems. So our problems of what goes wrong in our life. Where is this one coming from? I just gave the word away. We are focusing on problems, and that problems existed yesterday. So we are focusing on something that existed yesterday, and we are focusing on something again and focus on the week before last month. It bugs us. So we are constantly focusing on the rear mirror, looking backwards instead of going forwards. So we are focusing on what went wrong many times. So our whole neurology, our whole computer up here is imprinted with problems, limitations, challenges, obstacles, things that don't work. And that is a challenge sometimes. You know, we are focusing on the past and not on what we want to achieve in the future. And when we think about the future, what happens when we start dreaming about it like a child again? We are starting to think like a child, dream like a child. Everything what comes up first are the problems and challenges. I can't do this because I don't have the money, the time, got to support a family, have to run big projects, blah, 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 blah. Big stuff, challenges holding us back, sadly enough. So we are activating negative emotions inside of us as well. And those negative emotions inside puts us into a negative state every single day, and it reduces ultimately our performance. It reduces our state of well-being. It reduces our health and our wellness overall, because we are focusing on what goes wrong. And if you believe somewhere along that line that we have a past, that if you believe somewhere along that line, our thoughts are imprinting in our mind, our neurology, how often we focus on something creates memories of challenges, obstacles. Our whole body gets entrenched with negativity. It's terrible, because it would become our life ultimately. Our life might turn out to be negative. We do the same thing every single day, becoming negative. And so we forgot what made us happy. So we forgot what makes us healthy, what makes us fulfilled, what makes us believe in the impossibility that we had earlier, that we could achieve the impossible feat, the dreams we had earlier, that we can actually succeed. So, what I want to share with you, really, okay, I want to put up that question actually. Can we actually have the power within us? Is the power still existing? NLP is a science of modeling. NLP, I believe in the magnificence of everybody, that we have an tremendous power within us. So I want to share some stories, and I hope I get that all together, because I just put that last second into my slides here. So let me just share with you a couple of stories from different people that I just discovered, and maybe let me just check out if it has been synced across to my phone, because then I would be able to. Yep, no, I haven't. Yes, I have a bit on this one here. Yeah, it's very important. I want to share some. I want to introduce you to a couple of people. This guy here was called Ken Henderson. I don't know the time anymore when that happened. Ken Henderson. He was a guy who went out with a friend on a boating trip, and suddenly their boat collapsed. And it was, where is it? Far out in ice cold water, and this guy, both of them together, he and his friend Ed Cohen, they swam 50 miles towards an oil rig in ice cold water. They swam. Ken succeeded, Ken Henderson, he succeeded, he survived. His friend, sadly enough, died along that way. He swam 30 hours in cold water. What the mind believes, what the mind puts itself into a hard condition, to a challenging condition. We are growing our ability. He couldn't have done that consciously. His conscious might have said like, give up, can't succeed. But he was driving himself forward unconsciously to ultimately succeed. Isn't that amazing? This lady here, Lindy Harding, she was 25 years old. And what happened to her? She went up skydiving. Oh, she went up, skydiving in an incredibly high altitude, 8,500 feet. Parachute, most likely. 8,500 feet, and the parachute was 40. And it didn't open up, and she fall, and she fall, and she fall, and she fall for 40 seconds, 70 miles per second, I think it was. So I wrote on per hour, and I think it's wrong. And she hit the ground and survived. She survived with only 2 fractured ribs. She survived with a punctured lung, a cracked nose, and a chipped tooth. Imagine that, nothing else happened. They're saying she survived because she went unconscious. Her body was extremely relaxed. Relaxed means not consciously trying to steer her body into a certain position to avoid hitting the ground. But she was in her whole body was in an extremely relaxed way, hitting the ground. And then she survived. And that's amazing as well, isn't it? Now, this guy here, there was also a movie even, you know. He was in this 127 hours movie when he was climbing, a rock climber somewhere in the US, and he was falling, skipping, and a rock was hitting his hand, and he was in that cave, in that hole, in that whatever it's called right now, for 127 hours, couldn't move, couldn't shout out, nobody would come by. And he was actually amputating his arm with a very raw knife to get out of that. Otherwise, he would have sure died. He was doing it with pain, with challenges, with whatever it is. But his mind was putting him into that position that he was able to succeed it. And there's another guy. Just today, I read his article. He was actually, and sadly enough, I don't quite know how many times he was doing it now. This guy is Ross Edgley. He swam 4 times. He swam across. Can you believe that? This guy swam across the Great Britain. The whole round, he swam around the whole time. I think it was, I don't know how many thousands of miles. He was 5 months or 4 months swimming 4 times across that island of Great Britain, UK. He swam around it 4 times. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He, of course, became a world champion across that line, broke 4 records overall. Nobody else has ever done that. Would you do this? Who was pushing him forward to making it happen? He couldn't have done it consciously again. He must have driven unconsciously to get this done. So many hours. I think it was a couple of thousands of hours. I have the number somewhere. I wrote it down, but I have the wrong paper with me right now. Sorry about this one. I put it in the comment box afterwards. How many hours this guy was swimming. It's amazing. And then through this couple of examples only, you can already identify the power of the unconscious mind. It is amazing, isn't it? Really amazing. So, how do we access this part right now? To me, of course, as an NLP trainer, to me, NLP and hypnosis really are the only tools that allows you to identify how do you do what you do. And it's the only tools as well that allows you to really access the unconscious mind and access these limiting beliefs we do have and negative emotions through timeline therapy, through neuro-linguistic programming, through hypnosis, tools of the mind that helps you access this part inside of you that we are not aware of. That's what NLP, hypnosis, timeline therapy, brings to the table. Timeline therapy is so amazing to allow you to let go. It's an advanced methodology of NLP, as I like to say. Because some people don't believe it's related to NLP, but it's about the mind and helping you to get rid of negative emotions like anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, and other negative emotions. And not limiting beliefs like I can't do this, I can't do that. That holds you back. I can't get rich. I can't swim. I can't whatever. I can't is a limiting belief. NLP is a modeling excellence. If someone can do it, you can do it. As long as it is about the mindset, you're not learning the capabilities. Like, let's say you're saying, I would like to fly a plane. How do you do this? You're not learning. The capabilities is one thing, but get ready with your overcoming the limitations of how to fly a plane, how to overcome that fear of moving it up into the sky. Fear of flying, fear of whatever, heights maybe. It's easy to access through NLP, through timeline therapy, through hypnosis to get rid of those limitations. Well, these are the tools. Aside of this one, the only thing that I can really advise you if you don't know NLP, hypnosis, timeline therapy, is catching yourself in the act. So that means, basically speaking, that you start to purposefully change your thoughts. That means, I mentioned earlier, remember I said like that we are focusing oftentimes on what goes wrong and the problems we faced yesterday, which will determine our outcomes tomorrow and today and in the future, of course. So this is when we are focusing too much on the negativity of what went wrong and limitations, that you need to stubbornly focus on what you really want to achieve. Stubbornly driving your thoughts. When you're catching yourself in the act of having a negative thought, that you are saying that you are reframing that thought and saying, how could this thought help you to create your future? Reframe it from something negative. What can you learn from that negative thought? What is the intention of that negative thought? And start to say, what is the opposite maybe even of that negative thought? So you are starting to stubbornly focusing on the positive stuff. So you're starting to entrench your body on what you want, on your goals, on your outcomes, on the process of going forward, achieving something. Also even putting yourself into situations that make you uncomfortable. Hey, swimming around the UK is not easy. It's definitely not always comfortable. Focus. If that person can do it, and focusing on what he wants to achieve, not of how little he has achieved, but how much he has achieved already. If he can do it, you can do something similar, just simply focusing on what you really want to achieve. Stubbornly focusing on that one. And as you do this, over time, you're starting to get into the habit of thinking positively, into the habit of what you want to achieve, into the habit of creating a new thought structure, then ultimately starting to change your whole behavior, change your whole new memories. You create new memories, you create new outcomes, you create a whole new set of beliefs within yourself about potentiality, about possibility. And then when you do this, then only then will you be able to start getting back into this dreaming state and realize I dream about something I want to achieve, and not immediately negative thoughts popping up, but about what you can achieve will pop up after a while. And these goals might be more realistic. I don't dream about becoming a pirate anymore. I don't dream about becoming a knight anymore. I don't dream about becoming a friend of the Red Indians anymore. But I can dream about what I want to create in my life, and that's becomes the possibility for you. So you're moving from impossibility to possibility while you change your thoughts, and then the limitations go away, and you're transcending your negative thoughts into positivity. And I promise you, you start changing your life. So let's finish it for today. Let me know what you think again. If you're celebrating Deepavali, happy Deepavali to you. If you're watching this video, I would love it if you're sharing it with your friends, inviting friends over, share it on your timeline, that would be wonderful. If you are not yet signed up to our free online training that you can see, I put it higher up now, up here, onto my forehead, free online training, please sign up there as quickly as possible. Join us in the NLP Master Academy. Type into Facebook NLP Master Academy and it will pop up. Join us in there. Join the free course. Do the exercises in this course because they are about attracting success into your life. And if you have time, next week, next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, another Facebook Live here in Asia Mind Dynamics, and believe that you can achieve something and you can create your life. Bye-bye, guys. I got to press that famous finish button. Bye-bye. And create your life.